Hello, this is the Ashley Corinne, and this is part two, or part one, I guess, of the second coming of the Pagans. Because the first part, I'm calling it the introduction, because I am not really discussing so much the concept of the second coming of the Pagans. I was just introducing the idea. Anyways, this is the second video, though, in the series. So, the second coming of the Pagans. Just to recap my first video briefly, I had this dream in which I was on this quest, one could say, somewhere in New Mexico or Arizona, with these two Mexican guys, and we were looking for the Jews and shit. And I was like, I'm not a Jew, I'm a pagan and all this shit. But it's like, in short, that was representative of us, the white people, and them, the Latino people, both having these rich and beautiful pagan backgrounds of the religions of our native peoples, our indigenous peoples, whether they be from the Americas or from Europe. But we've been Christianized. We're quote unquote following the Jews. And I'm not talking bad about Jews. I don't have anything wrong, or I don't have anything against Jews. This is not anti-Semitic, so I'm not a white supremacist, although I am losing a lot of my hair. So this is not against the Jews. In my dream, the quote unquote Jews was this monotheistic religious structure that has come from that religious system, and it's more about Christians. I'm against Christians. I'm not against Jews, but I may be opposed to the way that their religion is, but I'm not anti-Semitic. Okay, I'm not a white supremacist. So anyways, and this isn't about the Jews. This is about the Christianization of our culture, of our pagan culture, which goes back to, of course, the Crusades and the Inquisition and all that shit, and the witch trials and the witch burnings and all that shit. So, the second coming of the pagans. This is a thought that occurred to me in this dream that I had last night, and I've realized that the second coming of the pagans is occurring right now. Okay, paganism, neo-paganism, Wicca, Satanism, all sorts of shit. It's all growing. It's growing right now because I think society at large has just become disillusioned with this Christian bullshit, and they're just fucking fed up with it. And I was thinking about this and yesterday, and I was thinking about the concept of Satan, okay, or the devil, or the adversary, and also this could also be said of gods and goddesses like Diana, Persephone, Hecate, Lilith, Pan, fucking Baphomet, all sorts of shit. These, which were earlier pagan gods and goddesses, were demonized by the Christians, of course. And it's like, but they are, the way that Satan is personified in the Bible, or characterized, I should say, is he is the adversary. He is the Lord of the earth, the prince of the powers of the air. And it's like the reason why these people think that he's evil, and the reason why these people, when I say these people, I mean the Christians. The reason why they think that these pagan gods and goddesses like Diana and Astarte and Isis and all these things, the reason why they think that these gods and goddesses are evil and they demonize them is because these pagan gods and goddesses are, it's like they're pro-earth, if that makes sense. And like Christians are like anti-materialists. They're saying that, the world is evil, and, the world and physical desire is evil, and, lust is evil, and wrath is evil, and all this shit. But it's like they've basically converted everyone at ill effect or with bad effects into this concept or idea of deny yourself, physical desire, physical lusts, and wants and needs are bad, and you need to, you know, you need to deny yourself and accept Christ and all this shit. And I was watching TV this one time, and I like to watch Christian TV because you should know your enemies, right? And I was watching Christian TV this one time, and it was like this guy was talking about pain and joy, and he's like, "Oh, if you follow Jesus, you will have joy," and blah blah blah, and all this shit that they promise all the time. And he's like, if you follow Jesus's path, you will suffer. There, you will have to suffer. That's just the way it is. So it's like, it's like saying, you're in this building, right? And this person is like, okay, this is, um, here's the exit. This is the only way to get out of this building. That's the only fucking exit in the building. But the hallway leading up to it is has broken glass all over the floor. And he's saying, if you want to go out that door, you have to take your shoes off and walk across all this broken glass just to get out through this exit, which is the only way. Jesus is the only way. But you'll have to suffer. But that's bullshit, because once you realize, okay, Jesus is not the only way, this is not the only exit out of this building. And that's kind of a weird metaphor, but that's kind of how they paint it. But it's like the second coming of the pagans. Okay, I hate to break it to you, Christians, if you're watching this, and if you are, you're sinning and you need to go repent. But Jesus ain't coming back. He's not. That motherfucker died, okay? He died on a cross. He's not coming back, if he lived at all, which is another question. But it's like the second coming of the pagans. See, I'm using this kind of Christian imagery, but it's like Jesus ain't coming back. Your Messiah ain't coming back, because salvation lies within, right? But when I talk about the second coming of the pagans, it's the return of the pagan ideals. The, loving yourself, respecting yourself, loving nature, enjoying life, enjoying the pleasures of the flesh, respecting nature and not acting like you're dominant over it, respecting animals, respecting other forms of life, and not acting like you're some fucking divinely fucking ordained super race. Because humans are just animals, it's like we're clever, we're very clever, and we have dominated, the earth through our cleverness and our ingenuity. But it's like, we're just animals, we're just another part of nature, and we have to fucking let go of this stupid ass Christian idea that we're like somehow chosen.